ready for Real Talk with Cindy Barber, where creativity, purpose, and innovation collide. Join national award-winning recording artists, musicians, producers, pastors, prophets, and entrepreneurs as they share bold ideas, new skills, and cutting-edge technology. Created to inspire and empower local artists and visionaries, Real Talk challenges you to grow, create, and discover what's next. This is more than a conversation. It's a movement. Real Talk with Cindy Barber, a pioneer in the gospel music industry with over 50 years of experience, where purpose meets possibility and influence. Tune in now for Real Talk with Cindy Barber.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk with Cindy. Please let people know that we are here, and happy Monday to everyone. I hope you all are enjoying your day on this beautiful Monday evening. Please share and let others know that we are live, and my guests are here, and I'm going to bring them on in a few minutes. But I'm excited to be here on tonight and looking forward to what God has to say to us on tonight. We're going to be talking about quartet music, and I'm so excited to have my guests with me on tonight. Please tag and share and let others know that we are on. This year, I'm celebrating 6 years of being on Real Talk on Facebook and on my YouTube channel. If you would like to be a blessing to Real Talk, sow a seed of $6. And my cash app is $Cindy's Keys, $Cindy's Keys. Also, if you'd like to advertise right here on this platform, please send me an email to ms.cindybarber@gmail.com, or you can DM me. I would be glad to advertise an event or something that you have in your business. I would be glad to advertise it right here on Real Talk with Cindy. Also, let me know as you're coming on what city, state, or country in which you are joining me from. Good evening to all of you that are coming on. Pastor Gail Hood, who is from Chicago, good to see you on tonight. God bless you. Glad to see you. Please share and tag and let others know. My sister Stacy from East Hartford, Connecticut, she's watching on my YouTube channel. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good to see everyone that's coming on. And we were going to be talking about the music industry and quartet music. Quartet music. And I'm excited. So I'm going to bring on my guest now. So please tag and share and let others know that we're on. And we'll also allow you to ask some questions later on in the program. So I'm going to bring my guest on at this time. Good evening, everyone. And how are you doing on tonight?
Blessed.
Yeah, blessed.
So glad to have you here. So introduce yourselves. I'm going to start with Pastor Jesse. Introduce yourself and let people know where you're from and what you do.
Pastor Jesse Burgess from the home of basketball, y'all, Springfield, Massachusetts, and pastor of Power Gospel Pentecostal Ministries, also radio DJ on Inspirational Beginning, WTCCFM.org, promote quartet gospel music, and I also sing quartet gospel with Preacher Man and the Singing Saints, and we are just about to celebrate 13 years coming up.
Really? Wow. That is amazing. Congratulations. I'm so honored to have you with me on tonight. And my next guest, Miss Sam Gentry from Nashville. Please let us know where you're from and what do you do?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the invitation. I'm Sam Gentry, like you said. I'm from the great city of Nashville, Tennessee. Music City, Tennessee.
Yes.
And I'm a GMWA member. I'm a member of the Alliance Nashville chapter. I'm a part of the Gospel Nashville Radio, 2-time Stellar Award-winning radio station. Also founded Tet Shed a year ago in honor of celebrating quartet music and honoring musicians who represent quartet music so well. And I am delighted to be here on this evening, and happy 6-year anniversary to you, Miss Cindy.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm so honored to have you with me on tonight. Our dear friend Ralph Lofton told me
Yeah.
about you.
Shout out to Mr. Ralph Lofton, the
Yes.
legend.
Yes. And my next guest, who is Pastor Bass. Please let us know who you are and what you do.
Hey man, I'm Pastor Darryle Bass from Newark, Delaware. A lot of people say, is there a quartet living in Delaware? Yes, it is. Amen. Home of Joe Biden. Amen.
All right.
Pastor of Ultimate Praise Ministries over 21 years and lead singer for Pastor Darryle Bass and the Delaware Boys.
Yes, yes. I've heard of you all for quite some time. Yes.
Amen.
Are you all, did you just celebrate an anniversary or something not too long ago?
We got an anniversary coming up November the 7th.
Oh, okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. So I'm excited to have the guests here. And like I was sharing with them, this is my first time having anybody in the quartet industry. So I'm really excited. After all these years, I didn't have anyone, but I met Pastor Burgess, and he's been a blessing even to our ministry in Springfield as well. So I'm excited to have you all with me on tonight. So I want to ask the quartet singers, how did you get started with quartet? How did you get started singing with quartet? Pastor Burgess?
Well, I was born and raised in it. My mother, who is on tonight, and she celebrates the birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, mother.
Oh, happy birthday.
She and my father both were quartet singers. He sung with a legendary group in this area, the Gospel Prophets, and she sung with a legendary female group in this area as well, called the Biblettes. And so I grew up in it. And then my aunt gathered me and my cousins one day at church, and we went downstairs singing. She put us in order. Felt like the Jackson 5 because she was strict. She put us in order, and she didn't have much patience. She only started us. But that was maybe around 7 years old when we were doing that. And I've been doing it ever since.
Wow. That is amazing. It's amazing. Pastor Bass, how did you get started with quartet?
Similar to my brother, and I'm going to give a shout out to Mom as well, because she claims me as her son too. God bless you. But was brought up and raised under my father at the age of 3. 3. I didn't want to sing with the children's choir. I always wanted to hang around my dad because I love that pretty falsetto note that he used to do singing. So he brought me up in quartet style. And even though I sing other genres of gospel music, quartet is all in my blood.
Yes, that's great. That is great. Now, how would you describe your musical style with quartet? How would y'all describe your musical styles?
Well, for me, I got a little different spin. I have, a couple of songs that will cater to the older crowd because there was a certain sound that you grew up with and you recognized it as quartet and you considered that quartet. But my sound is I would say in the middle because we can reach the older crowd, but we also can reach the younger crowd right now, somewhat to Tim Rogers and the fellas. They have a younger sound.
Yeah, right.
Catch a lot of the younger people. So I'm somewhere in the middle where we can go old school and we can try new school as well.
Right. Pastor Bass.
I can say the similar version for me as well. I love the traditional quartet, but sometimes we have a few songs where we put a little new twist in it, and a little bit new style in it to grab both sides of the quarter. Amen. We got something for the older folk, the middle folk, and we got something for the new flavor folk. So, but we love it.
That's great. Now, Miss Sam, let me ask you. You are a promoter. Now, do you only promote quartet music, or explain what you do?
Well, what I do, just like Pastor Jesse said, I do love all of gospel music. If it's bringing the good news, I can listen to it. You know, whether that's CCM or
Mhm.
worship music, all of that. But I love quartet music. What I do with quartet music, like I said, I started Ted Shed a year ago for that very reason, to celebrate the sound of quartet music, to celebrate and to
Right.
show people that it's important to keep this sound alive. It is
Right.
continuing to grow with the help of the internet. You all seen how things have gone viral with older songs, newer songs. Everyone
Yeah.
loves the quartet sound, and it's important that we keep it going, that we promote and
Mhm.
push it out there to new listeners that may not look like any of us. I was just at a live recording over the weekend, and
Mhm.
there were a lot of people in there that didn't look like you or I. You know what I mean? But they are
Mhm.
loving that sound, and I'm excited
Mhm.
to be a part of what's happening for quartet music. So I'm
Mhm.
excited about that.
Right. That's great. How do you discover new artists,
New
Sam?
artists. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
new
How
artists.
do you
When
discover new artists? Yes.
new artists, like I mentioned, with having an online presence. Like I've come across so many new quartet artists just from scrolling through social media. Just
Really?
like for Pastors Delaware and Pastors Burgess, I hadn't heard of them until I did some reviewing, and Pastor Burgess, we were friends, Facebook friends. I didn't realize it, but that's how a lot of times that I meet the newer artists. Of course, I know the older ones that I grew up listening to, but
Mhm.
things like social media, if it's something that went viral, I'll go and okay, let me find out who this
Mhm.
artist is. Let me research a little bit more. Let me find out where they're going to be. Let me see what it takes for them to
Right.
be involved in what we're trying to do. But
Mhm.
a lot of it is utilizing new technology today to find out uh, these artists and these new sounds who's trying to keep quartet alive.
Right. Right. What qualities make an artist stand out to you, Sam? What qualities that you see that stand out to you that make you say, "Well, I need to get in touch with that one"?
The qualities that not just for, like we said, we love all of gospel, but these same qualities can go across the board. You're looking for someone who, number one, who
Mm-hmm.
has a good product. If we're talking about a group or a single artist, they have to
Mm-hmm.
be good at their craft. So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then not only being good at their craft, um,
Mm-hmm.
what about their presentation? How do they present themselves to the public? Um,
Right.
do they sound like what I heard online? If it's something that was already pre-recorded, do they
Mm-hmm.
sound like that in person live?
Mm-hmm.
Things like that matter to me. I'm one of those people. If I go to an event and I kind of look at that person or that group to see their interaction from the time they're there until they leave.
Oh.
What I'm looking for then is how they present themselves
Mm-hmm.
amongst the audience. Or they're staying around to meet the people, or they're
Mm-hmm.
staying around to network, which is huge. Or they doing all those things to make
Mm-hmm.
themselves be someone that someone wants to book and attract for something in the future. A lot of times
Right.
you're collecting business cards or the contact information. You
Okay.
want to give someone a reason to want to use you for their particular event or whatever
Mm-hmm.
opportunity that's coming up. So
Right.
I'm looking at things in detail like that. I may not even say a lot at the time, but trust me, I'm looking at all those small details.
The details. Wow,
That's
that's
right.
important. Mm-hmm. What are your biggest challenges in promoting live music?
And promote, it's the support. It's the support
Oh,
when it comes to not only local support,
Right.
We're looking for people who can at least get there within an hour or 2 hours of your event. So a lot of times that's a lot of footwork, a lot of groundwork that's involved. You do have to have a community who's willing to do some of the legwork without you having to be out of a lot of expenses to do it. But that to me is one of the major challenges. We have a lot of different ways to reach people now. Like you said, Pastor Burgess, you're reaching not only those who like that traditional quartet sound, but reaching those who are into the newer sound. So you have to use all methods to get the word out about what you're doing. If that's using your digital platforms, your Facebooks, your Instagram. I'm not really into TikTok, but that newer school, they're into TikTok. So you want to use all radio, of course. I'm a part of a radio station. You want to utilize all of those tools. And even we're bringing it down to flyers, paper flyers. You know, that's the groundwork. We're utilizing every tool that we have in the playbook to bring awareness to what you're doing and what you have going on.
Right.
And it's not easy at times. Go ahead, Pastor Barry.
Yeah, can I chime in on for a second? Because I agree, is definitely support. I've been doing promoting now for 10 years. I just celebrated this past December for 10 years. And you need that support. Like in our area, it's a little harder for us up north because up here in the north, as you know, it's more CCM and choir base right now. Quartet is not strong as it used to be back in the 90s, early 2000s, you know, New York, and then work your way up, New Haven area, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. But it's a little harder now because we've had a lot of the pioneers, God has called them home, those who really love quartet. And so now that I'm on the radio, there are some who will still call for Lee Williams, which I don't mind playing, but I'm trying to push some of these newer artists to show them that quartet is dead. It's still and it's got music. Matter of fact, as she mentioned earlier about, you know, social media and stuff, that's how I met my brother Pastor Bass. That's how I met him, through social media. And ever since then, I done brought his group here. He done brought me there. I done preached for him most of the time. He done preached for me most of the time. We got to learn how to network, but you need social media, but you definitely need support.
That's right.
Amen.
Absolutely. Definitely need that. Now, how would you describe your musical style, Pastor Bass and also Pastor Burgess, with your quartet groups? How would you describe your musical style?
I would describe, I don't know if it's a style or just who I am, because I want to make sure that I promote Jesus first of all. That's my main focus, because a lot of people say, oh, you got a gig tonight, or you got a show tonight. No, I'm going to a musical service.
That's right.
We had a great time. We were down in Lincoln, Delaware last night for a big service down there. And and the people was like saying, from the time you walked in the door, there's a certain way that you carried yourself. And so and from the time we were on stage until the time we came off, it's a part of who I am. I guess that's my style. I guess, as the young people say, that's my swag. But I would say our style as a group is basically, our main focus is to draw those that may be heavy burden, confused, because we have a message in every song that we present.
Right.
I would say a little old school with a new school twist on it, but I try to be real with what I do, because we represent Christ. I was just talking to somebody recently, and we were in rehearsal, and I said, one of my problems that I had with Quartet was people telling stories. I said, I'm not really a storyteller because I'm not gonna lie about no story. My grandmother didn't tell me this. My grandfather didn't tell me, they go with these stories, but I just try to be real. And once you lock in, because there's a difference, and you can tell the difference because you have discernment. But you lock in, man. When you finally lock in, you just go for it, and you let God have his way. You can see it, if we're honest, there has to be some form of program to it. Because you just can't go willy-nilly, because you're getting 10 minutes, you're getting 12 minutes. So you got to be subject to what you're doing, but you also allow the Lord to lead you.
Right. Now, who are your biggest music influences? Who are your biggest music influences?
Well, for me, I'll say my family at home. My parents, but also my grandfather, who is Pastor Andrew Daniels, 94 years old. He's still going, and he was a Sam Cooke and Soul Stirrers fanatic. So us growing up, we heard all the Sam Cooke stuff, and I just thought Sam Cooke, and still do think he's one of the greatest singers to ever live. And but my grandfather would sing that, so he was. And my parents were my influence, because my mom was the director of the choir. So we didn't have a choice if we was going to sing. We were in there. Yeah. That's all to it. But they are my influences. And outside of that, if you're talking like professionally, I was and still am a big fan of Robert Blair and the Volunteers, because of their high style that they sung falsetto like everybody. Really caught my attention. And so God bless the dead. They're all pretty much gone. It's a newer, version now, but the old is them that I really fell in love with.
Right. Pastor Bass?
I guess my influence was my dad as well. Like my father, like Pastor Jesse Burgess said, that high note. That's what my father used to sing. He sung that pretty stuff. He was a Volunteers fan, so he turned me on to the Volunteers. And then I started loving a group out of Detroit, Michigan, the Everetties.
Yes, Lord.
My God, you talking about the harmony? Them guys, man. When they hit from every note to the end of the song was just perfection. So it just amazed me to see three brothers in the background and a lead singer out front could have that much harmony. And so that was one of my influences.
Right. What has been one of your most memorable performances, and why? What has been one of your most memorable performance, and why?
I got one that was back in the early 90s, I believe it was. We had brought, because I was singing with a group called New Creation at the time, and we brought in the Lumsey sisters to sing. And when we brought them in, they called my manager and said, we have a group that we want to bring with us. You don't have to pay them. We just want to get them in the area. So my manager said, okay. Come to find out, it was Lee Williams and the Spiritual QCs. Although they had been singing for a while, they weren't known. And so Lee Williams' style was just laid back, cool. So he would start singing, and it was low. People were getting up or ready to leave. And all of a sudden, me and my fellows, we start saying, wait a minute. And we sat and listened, and man, that thing stayed with me, because that man never ran out of words. He was just be smooth with it. That was one of the most memorable moments for me in Quartet, to be able to see them and then realize to where they came before he passed away. They were number one for a long time.
Right. Wow.
I guess for myself, memorable moment would be we were in Corpus Cove, Texas, about a couple of years ago, and sung at a program down there. I tell my testimony everywhere I go, how God delivered me from crack cocaine and 32 years delivered free from the substance. And there was a young man that was there. And after we came off the floor, he said, "You ministered to me." And he said, "I want to give my life to Christ."
Wow.
And that right there just made it all worthwhile. If it was just for one person that night, we were meant to be there.
That's right.
Wow. Just that one person.
Yeah.
Sam, what advice would you give to independent artists trying to get a fan base? What advice would you give them?
Oh, the first thing, create that page. If you're trying to get a fan base, utilize social media. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to pay for a lot up front when it comes to trying to build that fan base, but create you a Facebook page. Make sure it's a business page so that you can have those additional features. Start there. Invite people that you know that's in your circle. Invite them to like and share the page and start there. And then from there, start posting your material. Make sure it's presentable material. You don't have to necessarily have, spend big monies on on images, graphics, and things like that. Just make sure it's presentable, professional look. Start there. And you don't want to be where it's overboard of where you're too pushy with inviting people to like and stuff, because that could be a turnoff too as well. So just politely invite and start posting material. Sometimes it can be daily, 2 to 3 times a week to start off and continue to build on it. Post material from live performances, mix it up. Also post things about background of your groups, things like that. How did your group get started? Put in some stories to create that narrative to entice people to go ahead and follow. And sometimes it takes a while. But you want it to be built where it's organic and not where you just got a lot of people that who you've invited, but they don't necessarily love what you actually are doing. You want an organic following. That way you can get likes on what you post. If you got friends and family, that's all who like your page, and nobody who's following your page, you don't get any likes. They're not interested. You know what I'm saying? You want organic followers who's going to be willing to take that next step to look and see where you're going to be next, so they can perhaps make plans to attend. If you're good enough to where they'll travel and see you, that's a bonus. So start somewhere. Somewhere. Like I got a chance to look at Pastor Burgess, you and Pastor Bass. You all have a nice online presence. You do. So you all do have a nice online presence where people can follow you and find you. You're like, okay, I heard this song. Let me find this group. And a lot of times they don't have a way to actually stay connected, but you all are doing that. So start there. Start with an actual page that's on social media platforms. Start there and continue to build. You don't have to be perfect at it, but just start somewhere where you can gather your community of supporters.
Right. Absolutely. Now, how do you decide venues which venue is the best for an artist? How do you decide that?
Here are things to look at, and I made a couple mistakes at this before. Like if you're picking a venue that people are not really familiar with, sometimes it could have all the bells and whistles of a nice facility. But if people are not really familiar with that location and where it is, even though it's all fancied up, you may not get a good turnout for something like that. Familiarity is what is something that I found is when you're talking about quartet, people like to be in places where they're familiar because, again, we're reaching people that love the traditional sounding music. So we can't be too far in advance, and we're trying to cater to that group. But we can still, we can still slide in different things. But that was one thing that I noticed, that can't do too many things that's too rapid, that's not that's taking us too far out of what we used to being around. So that's definitely a key. But then too, if you have a ticket or have artists that people are going to see no matter where they at, then the venue may not be an issue because people will support what they want to support, who they want to support, when they want to support. Like I said, it can be, for example, now I'm a huge Lisa Knowles Smith fan, so that's my girl. So they came and did a show and sold out City Winery on I think it was a Monday night. A Monday night. So you got two factors in place. City Winery. We have never had a quartet event at City Winery in downtown Nashville. That has never been done. But it was sold out. It was sold out. And the place was jam-packed. And it was phenomenal. And here's another thing. It was on a weekday. You know what I'm saying? A weekday. It wasn't a Saturday, wasn't a Friday, was not a Sunday. Those are all our days that we have quartet events, right? This was not one of those days. So for that to happen, like I said, people will support who they want to support if they really want to be there. So even though a lot of times we have to be aware of where we're having things, if it's somewhere people want to be and groups they want to see, all of that is going to be out the door.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now for the quartet, the singers, how do you prepare for your performances? How do you prepare for them with your groups? How do you prepare?
I guess I'll start first. First of all, we dedicate ourselves to strong rehearsal time, and because even though it's not really like I say a show for us, but you still have to have a good stage presence. So you have to not only look good, but you got to look good as well. So your stage presence is very, very important. So
that's right.
So we prep in rehearsal time, and then before we hit the floor, everybody's in prayer. We in prayer before we hit the stage.
Yeah, well, I'm somewhat the same. We get into our rehearsals, and we just had rehearsal this past weekend. We have 2 shows coming up in the New York area, and we haven't been to this part of New York. And so not knowing what to expect, we rehearsing, and we're timing ourselves because I'm a promoter, so I know, and we have a promoter on here. If you have a time slot, you're supposed to stick by that time slot. You ain't supposed to be going over 20 minutes and talking about the Lord. No.
You got 10 minutes.
Right. And if you got to praise them in the back, because you can still in the back. But we trying to make sure we're ready for if it's an older crowd, older sound, because I'm not one that hang outside. I like to be in the service. I go in the service. Let's see where the spirit is. Let's see what the Lord is doing in there. And so we try to be prepared for if it's younger sound that we need, if it's older sound we need. We try to prepare for all of that and be prepared and be professional when we get.
Right. Absolutely. I'm looking at some of these comments that's coming on. Absolutely. My other question to the quartet, and this is also to Sam as well. We no longer have CDs that we have. How has, streaming and doing different platforms where you can purchase your music, How has that affected the music industry? The groups that sing, the groups that's performing, has it affected you where we used to have CDs and you can, pay, you could sell them for like $10, $15, $20, and now that's no longer. So how has it affected your group and also in the music industry?
Well, it has affected us and the music industry tremendously, because now you have to think about, you still have a few people that's looking for CDs, but cars don't even have CD players anymore.
Right.
And so things have changed. I mean, it takes 1 million streams to get $4,000. And that's a whole lot. It's been getting 0.003 for one stream. So it has affected us tremendously as far as that avenue. And now we have to get to the point of marketing ourselves, promoting our brand. You're coming up with different ways where now you might see T-shirts on the table. You may see flags. Who knows what you'll see now trying to get. So it has hurt as far as, especially for those who do it for a living. It definitely has hurt because they're relying more now on live performances. Have to get into these streams and these different social media things, trying to gather that way, different income that way. So it has hurt not just us independent artists, but it has hurt some of the bigger artists as well.
Yes.
I agree. It has been a decline in some areas where CDs, like Preacher Man said, that because we still set up our table, and like I said, some of the older people are still looking for some of the CDs, so we make it available, and then we also put we have our music on flash drives, so for the newer vehicles, and we've been doing pretty well with the flash drives so far. Buying the flash drives, so that's been our market with the flash drives.
Right. Sam?
Right. And I agree, like the both of them said, and unlike how Pastor Bass said, they still have those CDs for those who still have CD players. Like I still use CD players. I still but then what I do, I'll download them and then put them on my flash drive and put them all. But I think it's good that we don't do away with the CDs, because now that we know that record players are back, they're real expensive though. And those are things that are back. So I think CDs might try to, make a push, but we can still have the advantage of downloading, which is what we're up against now. But using every method where people can be able to get your music, because just like we're not making cards with the CDs, but some people still have those older cards that do have. So we reach everybody, just like how we're going to market to everybody. Use what we have at our hands, and what we can grab to do.
Absolutely. Ernest, Lucas said, I really need to hear stuff like this because I'm coming up as well. Name of my group is Ernest, Lucas, and Predestined. And that's what I was going to ask you all a question. What advice would you give to aspiring quartet singers? What advice would you give them?
Well, I'll say for even someone like him, you got to love it. You can't get in this saying I'm coming in to make money. You got to love it, because as I'm a promoter, so I know a lot of splits, and also me being the manager of my group, when you do get some pay or whatever, the way it has to be split up, you might want to try to put some in the kitty, whatever. And me as manager, they all going home smiling. I'm going home with nothing.
Right.
You have to love this. It's been me since I've been a child. So don't go into it looking to be rich. Go, do this. You actually love it.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. Ernest Lucas is a young brother I met, and we've actually done his anniversary back in June in North Carolina. He's from North Carolina. He has a great group down there in North Carolina, and they're one of the upcoming groups that are out there. But just as I always tell him, remain humble, stay true to what you believe in. Never think that you're, okay, because we had a great service tonight. We get the big head now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Remain humble,
Right.
because and the Bible speaks of humbleness. That's where exaltation comes in at. You'll be exalted with your humbleness. So and that's what I teach with my fellows. I teach, listen, we go in, we do our Easter piece, and we go somewhere and we sit down. Amen. We enjoy everybody else.
Right. Sam, what would you say?
Ditto to what they just said. That's exactly right. And then to add with that, before I logged in, I saw a nice little announcement about one of our top Quartet artists being an honorary board member to a professional. You just saw it, right? So my advice to any artist, whether you have already made it to where you want to be, independent, just starting, get into these professional gospel industry groups. If they're inviting you to join, please join. There's a minimal fee for some of them. Some of them you can be included without paying for a membership, but please do research those groups. I can, shoot out some names. So I'm a part of National Alliance of Gospel Music Professionals. So that's a part of GMWA. You can get into that one in your chapter. NAGR, GIC, that's the Gospel Industry Coalition. Of course, SAGMA, that's dealing with the Stellars. And then we can't forget about GMA, that's dealing with the Dub Award. So the Gospel Music Association. Get a part of those groups. The training that they offer, the networking, the community that you can get from there. And again, these are radio professionals. If you're doing something in music, you need to be connected to radio professionals. So these organizations, you must look into being a part of them if you're not already into them. That, to me, I think that needs to be the first step, if you're perfecting your craft, because if you connect to someone in that group, you can get advice from them, you know what I'm saying, to work on your plan even more. They can find a way to help you, reach what goal you're trying to reach, you know what I'm saying? But that's my advice. Join one of these or more than one. That's not a restriction. Get into those professional groups and see how you can navigate where you're trying to go, because everybody's not trying to reach the level where they're on big main stages, and that's okay. But whatever level you're trying to be at, excel in it, and why not get assistance from the people that are in these organizations?
Wow, this is all good nuggets. What do you think is the biggest mistake new artists make when promoting themselves? What do you think is the biggest mistake artists make when promoting themselves?
I would say a presentation of your flyers. Or your handbills or something. There has to have some kind of professionalism to it. I mean, I know you got your AIs out here, but find a nice graphic artist. I mean, there's a lot of them out here that can still make your flyers and this, that, and the other, and help promote yourself that way. Because I've seen I was at one program where they had a paper flyer, where you just had a head there and a head there, and it wasn't attractive at all. I mean, most people are going to take it, look at it, and probably just ball it up, throw it away.
Right.
So so you got to take some time, and then you got to spend just a little bit of money, to help promote yourself.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna go this way. I think one of the biggest mistakes they make is not understanding that anybody could be watching you at any time and having bad social media.
Yes.
Oh, that's big.
Yes.
Yeah, and they kill their brand, they kill their
That's
group.
right.
It's just terrible the way that they will act on Facebook and all of these other things. And I'm like, once you put it out there, the world has seen it. I mean,
That's right. Even if you take it down.
You put it there, you got people so quick with screenshotting, video, and all of that, and it's out there. And so you don't think that you're hurting yourself because you're thinking you're being a man or whatever, but you're hurting yourself, you're hurting your group, and you're hurting your brand because there are some groups I will honestly say I will not bring to this area.
Come on here.
Social media presence, what
Right.
they do.
That's good.
And someone has asked me, would you bring such and such? No, I'm
No.
sorry.
Yeah.
The way they're doing, and they don't care. And that's bad.
Right.
Right.
That's true.
That's good.
Yeah. Sam?
I like that, Pastor Burgess. You have to set the standard. There's been so many times that I've looked across people's social media and them not realizing that I pretty much removed you from my database. I might still follow you and things like that. I would never even approach you for an opportunity just by what you posted. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then like Pastor Bass touched on those AI. I'm not gonna hate on AI. I've come a long way with trying to accept where we are headed.
Right.
But a lot of the little AI stuff is kind of gotten a little out of control when it comes to these flyers. And to be honest, when I'm starting to see the flyers and the templates being the same, I'm like, oh, this is the same. Oh, there's somebody else's event. They're using the same templates. And then I kind of like will skip through a lot of those, when it's all I see is just you using AI for this. All of your flyers are like, I'm like, is this a real event? Is this something that's really legit? Just because, we're overusing AI. AI is not all bad. We have to, we can use it to enhance, but it's kind of gotten overboard with a lot of this AI usage. So it's there. We know we're in the AI, AI is where it is, but it's got to be a balance to it.
Right. But you're exactly right, because some of the flyers that I see, they look the same, and until I look at a different picture and maybe a different date, a location, but I'm like, I just saw this.
Right.
It's somebody else did the same format. Exactly the same. But you do have to, like he said, get a professional graphic designer.
Right.
Don't keep them out of business. Get a professional graphic
That's
designer.
Right. That's right. Oh, and then too, I wanted to kind of touch on like the question you asked. I think one of the major areas that new artists, independent artists can work on is making sure they are ready, for the opportunity, especially if you're trying to grow and enhance your brand, and make sure you're putting out something that is product ready. If you don't take the time to make sure the music is right. I was playing something Sunday with the group, and I instantly was like, okay, these levels are not right. The levels are not right. But you heard, so take time to make sure it's product ready. because that's a presentation of yourself, even though it could be something you started off in your earlier years working on.
Mm-hmm.
If
Right.
it's out there, it's out there. And that's that first impression that somebody received, like, oh, this is what they sound like.
Right.
And so I'm going to go past that on to somebody else who's actually ready to be out here. Yeah, if you don't want to be out here and mess up the opportunities because you put yourself out there too early.
Right.
Right.
That's so
Respect
true.
your craft. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Totally right,
Let's see.
because there's also as radio people, sometimes you only get about 6 to 10 seconds to impress who's listening. And
Right.
if you don't get you in those radio, believe me, I've done it. And you don't normally miss. You know, I've missed one or two, but normally you don't miss. And they're, you know, you got to capture them in them first few seconds. And like she said, if the levels ain't right, I can't play the air. I can't do it.
Right.
I gotta make sure that it's right.
Right. But do you think that more people, because I wanted to ask another question about the financial aspect of making a recording. Do you think people are just more or less making their projects, doing them at home, as opposed to going into a reputable studio where they can get better sound or better quality? So when it comes to the radio, it won't be a thing that he has to throw it out and say, I can't play it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all of what you said.
Right. Don't rush your product. Don't rush your
That's
product.
Right.
Spend some time in putting it out there. I mean, if you have to get a double ear on it, put somebody else's ear on it, you know.
Right.
But make sure, you know, because I've heard one person gave me a recording, asked me to listen to, and they were in the studio, but it sounded, you know, like lost in space.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You just heard all this echo, and it's like nothing was mixed.
Yeah.
You know?
You're totally right, because they are doing it a lot, because people now are more educated and more advanced than some of us was coming up. And I'll tell you no lie, I tell you no lie, somebody wanted me to hear a song and then told me that it was AI doing the whole song.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't them at all. It was all AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is what we come to?
That's right.
I want to hear a real voice.
That's right.
You know, story from what you know, what God gave you. But the song AI, and they put it out as one of their artists. And you know, do what you need to do. I don't do that, but you do what you need to do. But that's what's happening today.
Yeah. That's true. I was talking to someone. I interviewed him on my show, and he had a whole. He did a recording of someone, and it was AI, but it didn't sound like AI. You know, it was more like a robotic kind of sound. But he had a whole CD with them singing like Amazing Grace. He went through all the hymns, and it was just amazing that the quality of the music was good, but the vocal part, when you recognize as being like robotic sounding, and I'm saying I would never even want to invest in anything like that. The sound the vocal sound was not good.
Well, one of the things I found out though for AI too, it's hard for them to do a quartet song. I tell you that. Because you know, they can't sing quartet. I'm telling you that.
Because you got to feel quartet. You know what I'm saying? You got to feel quartet. You can't feel that, you know, that fake stuff.
Right.
You can't fake what goes on at quartet.
Right.
Musical or singing, as we call it.
Right. When AI was singing, it was like the same, you know, it didn't move. It didn't, you know, it was just like it was staggered, like Amazing Grace, how sweet it sound. You know, it would just stay that way. So you could tell in the vocal part. I said this, and he was so proud of it. I said it's definitely, he knew he was doing it AI, but he really was, you know, he said this was really good. And I was like, wow. I don't think I wouldn't support that at all. I said, I know radio's not going to play it.
No.
Right.
When I heard, I said, no, that's
Because you kind of feel cheated. You know what I'm saying? You kind of feel cheated. You're like, this is not real music.
right.
You feel cheated.
Vocals definitely not. Now, instrumentation might be a little different where, you know, you can kind of get by, had the click tracks in there and everything, but the vocal part was really more robotic, and it sounded like it. I said, wow. But he wasn't hiding that it wasn't AI.
Oh, okay.
He was letting you know that it was, but, you know, he was more people are getting into that, and they were saying about using it for praise and worship at church. And I was like, I don't think so. You know, if you don't have singers at your church, they're telling people now you can use AI.
Wow.
I'd rather not have the singers, to me, when I heard.
Wow. You might as well do church online, huh? That's what it sounds like. Online church.
That's exactly what it sounds like. What exciting projects are you working on? Are you working on anything right now?
Actually, I am.
Go ahead, Barber.
Okay, sorry, Pastor.
No, you good. You good.
I am. I'm actually. We're about 75% complete. We working on a new album because we haven't put out anything new in a little while. I actually did a solo project because I've always wanted to do one, and I did that and got some help from some friends, and now the group music is about to come out, and we're about, like I said, about 75% done. Not rushing it, making sure things are right, but we're excited about it. There's something. I went back and got some old school music, but I also got some new school, like I said from earlier, trying to put something on there that will reach the older crowd, the wiser crowd, and the younger crowd. Yeah. And so that's what we're working on right now.
That's good.
Amen.
That's good.
As same with us, we were in the process of, we have some new stuff that's coming out. We did a live recording a few months ago, and we're taking our time with it. Like I said, you don't want to rush it because, you know, you got to do your overdubs. You got to make sure that this is right and that, you know, so we're not trying to rush it out, even though some radio personnel said, you know, we waiting on your stuff. Well, just keep waiting a little bit longer because when we had it, we want it to be right. So,
that's right.
But when it comes out, I really think it's going to be a really great project for the people.
That's really good. So as we close, Quartet singers, if you could collaborate with any artist, deceased or alive, which artist would that be?
Oh Lord, how much time you got? Because I was, like I said earlier, Robert Bland, a Fantastic Volunteers fan. But as much as I was a fan of them, you couldn't help but to love Willie Neal Johnson. So to be able to get on stage with Willie Neal Johnson, I talked to him plenty of times, but not, you know, if I could collab with him, that would be something that would be great. In the new school right now, you know, well, honestly, Tim White is a great singer, and he's actually on the new project. So I got a chance to do something with him. But Lisa Noel Smith and Tim Rogers are two of the greatest that's doing it, as well as the Williams singers, because I do like a newer style as well as old.
Amen.
Right.
Right there, they have that newer sound, and I mean, Lisa's on top of the game. That's just plain and simple. So who wouldn't want to sing with her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, for myself, I have collabed a couple of years ago with Darryle Williams from the Williams Singers. We have a song out called "Leaning," and brother man, you know, he just does his thing. You know, once you put him behind a mic, and so it was a great thing. So we got a new drive that we're working on, and I would love to be able to collab this new drive with Lisa Knowles. I just think, you know. So if anybody's out there listening tonight, if you're listening tonight, if you got a contact from my sister, tell her to get in touch with Pastor.
I'll speak for him though too, because he's collabed with a lot of people, because I saw him singing with Donnie McClurkin, and them
Really?
two did
Awesome.
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 Donnie got on his quartet song, and
Mhm.
they sung together. He's being
Oh,
humble right now.
wow.
I understand.
Wow.
I'll speak for him.
That's great. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, with closing remarks, what would you like to share, Sam, as we close?
I would say to all the artists out there, work and perfect your craft so that you'll be ready for the opportunity that comes. Network, build your community, always present your best. No matter what level you're at, if you're at the beginning level, every person you meet when you're in these different circles, have your best presentation. Do network, get their information, follow up if they allow you to. But just work on making sure you're ready for the moment ahead. Don't rush. Like we mentioned, don't rush. Don't put out something that's not that you wouldn't be proud of if you were to hear it a few years down the road. Like, oh wow, why did we put that out? It wasn't really ready. Join these professional organizations. We know Stella's is around the corner, so there's a lot of opportunities to be networking and in those circles. Do your research and see what organization is a good fit for you. And to reach out to me, you can find me on all social media at Sam Miss New York Gentry. Our Tet Shed page is Tet Shed Jam on Instagram, and then Tet Shed on Facebook. Reach out to me directly, email wholesome music city at gmail.com or tetshedjam@gmail.com. Reach out if you need any answers to anything. I'll be glad to assist in any way I can.
Wow, that's great. I'll probably reach out to you myself.
Okay. Oh, and be on the lookout. We're preparing for our second annual Tet Shed Jam here in the Music City area. So stay tuned. We'll be announcing details on that. So glad to be a part of this phenomenal panel on tonight. To be able to take a part and receive. I don't know it all, but know enough. But excited to add to my community, all three of you all. So I'm glad for the opportunity.
Yes, and we're glad. I'm glad to have met you. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Also, Pastor Burgess and Pastor Bass, what would you like to say to those that are listening, or whatever remarks you'd like to close out with?
Well, I'm going to piggyback on that and networking, which I'm learning to do more and more. It will help you because, like tonight, my brother's here, but me, he's in Delaware. But we got another family member that we call FFL, and he's out of San Antonio, Texas. And what we decided to do as independent artists was help each other. And so I brought them to Springfield. They brought me to Delaware. They brought us all to Texas.
Oh, wow.
We have decided to work as brothers. We're independent artists. So even though he is well more versed than I am, we are and we're trying to make it out here. So we decided to work together. So networking is very important. I will say to love God and be real with that. Don't fake it. Be real with what you sing about. Live that life. And so others be able to see you. Quartet is great. Quartet is still great. It's still thriving. But you need God in your life for real. You need God for real. I just close with that, and I want to say thank you for giving Quartet a voice on your platform. As you said, time, Quartet. We thank you because I know of some of your work in the music industry, so they get to hear from some Quartet folk tonight.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary to you.
Yes, and thank you. And I plan to have you all come back again because we don't want to just, especially when you have your projects coming out, I definitely want you to come back on again. And I want Sam to come on as well. Pastor Bass, what would you like to close out with?
Just to piggyback off my brother, be true to your ministry. When you come into the services, concerts, connect with people. Because just don't sing and get off stage and this, that, and the other, but let them see a positive side of Quartet.
That's right.
Because we've been on stage, and when we got on stage, we got a contact because because somebody on there smelled like weed. Present yourself. Present yourself. I don't know if I'm high in the spirit or high off.
Right.
Present yourself in a way where people are going to love you. They want to connect with you. And here's another thing that we didn't mention, but I want to mention this in my closing.
Sure.
Your dress attire.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Dress is important. It's important. Don't just come to the program looking like you just woke up. Present yourself. Hey, whether you're at your record table, CD table, whatever you want to call it, present your way. Greet folks, smile.
That's true.
Be humble.
That's right.
Happy that
Goes
you're
a
there.
long way.
Amen.
That's right.
But again, I thank you, my sister, for allowing us to be able to just have a few moments to share. And with everybody, to my sister Sam and my brother. Much love to you all.
Yeah. God bless y'all.
Absolutely.
So we connected now. We connected now.
Right. That's right. That's good. We are definitely connected. And I want to thank my guest tonight. I am so appreciative. This was so enlightening, and I really enjoyed this discussion on tonight. And I'm looking forward to having you all come back on Real Talk with Cindy. Continue to keep me in prayers and this show in prayers as we continue to carry on. I'll probably take a break in the month of August and come back on in September to regroup. So I have some amazing guests that will be coming on this platform, but I'm excited and happy to hear, what the positive things that you all had to say, and which is very enlightening for everybody. And I know people that's going to watch that may not be on tonight, but they'll watch weeks and months to come, and they will be watching Real Talk with Cindy. People are still responding, and I'm trying to show as much as I can on tonight. But people have been so positive what you shared on tonight. So I want to thank you and thank our guests. Thank our guests also, and thank you, the people that have been watching tonight on YouTube and on my Facebook page. Thank you all so much for tuning into Real Talk with Cindy. The Gospel Train, love you much, and so happy to see on you on this platform. Your authenticity is opening great doors. That's good. It's really good.
That's my sister there.
Okay. That's good. It's always good to have people in your corner. Someone that's blessings to you on tonight. So we want to thank everyone for being here, and we look forward to seeing you again on Real Talk with Cindy. God bless you all and have an amazing night.
God bless you.
God bless you all.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Real Talk with Cindy Barber. We truly hope tonight's conversation has left you feeling informed, inspired, and empowered to take on whatever comes your way. If you'd like to stay connected, you can follow Cindy on Instagram at CindyRBarber04. Email her at ms.cindybarber@gmail.com or subscribe to her YouTube channel at Cindy Barber for more powerful conversations and updates. Have an event you'd like to promote? Partner with Real Talk with Cindy Barber and let your voice be heard. Cindy is already looking forward to having you join her next week for another engaging, uplifting, and thought-provoking discussion right here on Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Until then, take care, stay inspired, and have a wonderful evening.